Hey, well, it's Friday there, August 21st, 2009. And the question of the week is a couple days late. It'll probably wind up, I think we're going to move it to Fridays from now on because, yeah, I got work and college class on Wednesdays. So my Wednesdays are pretty shot now, because I got to go back to, you know, work with the kids, man. Got to go back to school. All right, so the question of the week, what was it? 11? We've been doing it a while now. And I think the novelty's wearing off, and we're getting a more of a core group of fans now that look forward and doing the question of the week. And the question of the week was, um, with the current state of boxing, should we have less weight classes to make it more so that we really don't have to worry about catch fights, or keep classes and drop the amount of titles so that the champ actually has to fight more than once every 12 years. Okay, and it was close early, but then we started having a little gap there, and by 19-12 the winner was the one title, the asking of one title. Brader's 1, 2, 3, 4. He said one title. Just think of all the great matchups that you would get out of that. You would actually have a true champion that is actually defending his title. And if you think about it, in old days, fighters fought 6 times a year, 4 times a year. They always stayed active, no matter what. Sure, they had a lot of losses on the record, but that's what made them great. Sugar Ray Robinson had 19 losses or something like that. Had a lot of losses, fought a lot of bums, but he had a lot of losses as well. He had a ton of wins, and he's seen as a legend. A Lion 565, 6 classes, kind of like the EA Fight Night 4, and then one title. Son of Ire, 1987, one champ. Wants one champ. God like Rich, one belt. And all of them are talking, Mike Houdathan, starting to ride the fence there, but he came off of it and said he liked both, but would rather have one title if he had to choose. High Point Lanky, less belts makes stiffer competition, and that's true. I mean, some of them, when you're like, oh, this guy's the WBC champ, you laugh. People laugh. The titles have lost their credibility. When I was growing up, you actually had the NABF champion was considered the #1 contender to a lot of the titles, to get a shot at the main titles. And who thinks of that anymore? Who thinks the NABF is like this amazingly hardcore title? It's nobody talks about the NABF anymore as being that stepping stone or the #1 contender to the title. It used to have meaning. Jensen Amal, one belt. Arsenal had one belt, but he throws in, you got to defend it at least twice a year. And I totally agree with them. Is it in a calendar year from the time you actually fight? You know what I'm saying? I mean, how are we going to do that? It's KP Mofo. He says just less belts, man. Come on. Dragon Style 619, one champ. Or, he goes, he still likes all the divisions because that's how legends get created. You get a legend in that division. The kid, 2189, said, dude, let's keep the same amount of divisions, but make them weigh in the day of the fight. He said he's tired of these bloated guys dropping 20 pounds and then coming in. He said because, in fact, that is dangerous. And he's right about that. And that they do have a bit of a system of that. You can only gain so much weight before you get in the ring. And it's dangerous because the fluid in your brain does not actually start coming back until like 72 hours after you start rehydrating. It's very, very dangerous. One title for TCWHB Sports. Jonah Heed, one title first, and then shaved down the divisions. Bradojevic, one champ. John J. 134, one champ. Paul 870, one champ, without question. So go to one champ. Cut Cat, 1 belt, multiple title defenses a year. I think he even said 4. It'd be kind of crazy. I go with 3. 3 would be about the highest I go, because anymore with the training and the amount of punishment boxers take and stuff to their body, brains, whatever, 3 times a year is about right. And that would keep them in fighting shape year round, which would be a good thing. It probably would cut down on the injuries then, wouldn't it? If you're in fighting shape year round and not taking 4 months off to get Bigragu and then have to trim off 40 or 50 pounds for a fight, you know. 1 belt, multiple title defenses, progressive script, 1 title. And he said add a class, add a super heavyweight class. I think they tried that, and it was like if you weighed over 250, and it was these, it was in the 80s, and these 2 really fat dudes that were like 270 and 280, but they were a lot fatter than what I'm 270, but these dudes were like blobbage. Like when they walked, everything shook. You know, there was no definition on these guys at all. It was just disgusting. And then Shrimper 07 said 1 belt. So there you have it for that. The winner is get rid of all these alphabet titles, knock it down to the 1 champ again. You can keep the divisions for the most part, but bring it down to 1 champ and make them defend the title more than once a year. And I agree with all that. I think that would be great if you did, you know. If you want to keep the champ, keep multiple champs, you got to drop divisions, man. It's just too many out there. Get rid of the super and the light, you know, and just make that all 1 division, whatever that weight is. So, like I said, we've now we're getting to the more hardcore fans. If you are new to this and you are following the question of the week, awesome. I'm looking at trying to bring it back. Cloud coverage keeps going, so the color keeps fading in and out. It's nothing else, just clouds going by the windows. So I want to pose this to everybody out there. Let's make this a serious, like hardcore fanatic question. And I want to know, what country boasts the greatest boxing history? What country boasts the greatest boxing history? Now, once you give the country, I want specific examples, because our fans are crazy and insane and revere our fighters as almost godlike figures. That would be good. I might have been talking about a certain country that has a guy that's getting ready to fight another guy from another wonderful country that's very, very passionate. Is it the fans that make it that way? You know, but I want to know, what is the greatest boxing nation out there, so I can start following it? You know, which one? Where should I devote my time in getting to know the fighters? Is it over in Europe or England in specific? Watching those great fighters. I mean, Joe Calzaghe, Carl Froch. I mean, these are great fighters to watch. I mean, Mikhail Kessler is in that area, you know, so that would be the Europe area. Are we going more over maybe on the African continent? Miranda from there? I don't really know. I'm not familiar with that. Asia. Is it the USA? Or are we down now, but you can't deny the amount of champions the United States has had. You know, so which nation is it out there? Let me hear. I want to hear some good talk. I don't want to hear or see or read any racist stuff, because I'll block you. The second I see any crap put out there, I'm just going to block you. I'm not even going to, people won't even get to read your comment. So I'll just block you as a user, and you'll never be on this page again. I want to keep it as civil as possible. I know it's going to get a little hectic, and I know some names, you know, some argument, you know, stuff is going to come out of this. I know that. But keep it civil. I don't want to deal with the racist, worthless trash kind of stuff. Okay? This is Bigragu. I'm out.